Hello, everyone, and welcome back to SunMoon Audiobook, the channel where we share wisdom and inspiring book journeys to help you grow and develop your best self, inside and out. Have you ever felt like you're standing on the shore, watching the vast ocean of financial advice, and every wave that crashes seems to speak a different language? One tells you to be bold, another whispers caution, and still another insists on intricate formulas and impenetrable charts. It can be overwhelming, can't it? Like the currents are pulling you in a dozen directions at once, leaving you feeling adrift, maybe a little lost, perhaps even a bit inadequate. We've all been there, haven't we? This feeling, this quiet hum of anxiety about money, it's not just about numbers on a page or figures in a bank account. It's about our lives, our dreams, our sense of security, and our very freedom. It touches the deepest parts of our being, shaping our choices, influencing our relationships, and sometimes, if we're honest, keeping us up at night. But what if I told you that understanding money, truly understanding it, isn't about mastering complex algorithms or predicting market shifts with uncanny accuracy? What if it's far more about understanding ourselves, our quirks, our hopes, and our fears? What if the real key lies not in what the market does, but in what we do, in the stories we tell ourselves, and the quiet, often unconscious biases that guide our hands? This isn't a lecture on economics, it's an invitation to a different kind of conversation, a journey inward to explore the delicate dance between our minds and our money, and to discover the profound power that lies within us to shape our financial destiny, not through sheer force of will, but through gentle understanding and deliberate choice. It's about finding that steady anchor in the ever-shifting tides, the quiet wisdom that resides in simplicity, and the profound liberation that comes from truly knowing yourself in relation to wealth. You see, for so long, we've been taught that money is a logical game, a cold, hard science where formulas dictate outcomes and rationality reigns supreme. We pore over spreadsheets, analyze historical data, and seek out the smartest people to tell us what to do, believing that if we just follow the right instructions, if we just acquire enough knowledge, success is inevitable. But Morgan Housel, with such gentle wisdom, peels back these layers of assumption to reveal a truth far more profound and, honestly, far more comforting. He tells us that money is not just about what you know, but about how you behave. Think about that for a moment. It's not the IQ points, not the fancy degrees, not even the years of experience in the market that truly determine our financial outcomes. It's the soft skills, the emotional intelligence, the quiet discipline, and the understanding of our own human nature. It's about humility when things are going well, resilience when they're not, and the incredible power of patience. We're all wired with biases, deeply ingrained patterns of thought that influence our decisions, often without us even realizing it. We chase the thrill of quick gains, we recoil from losses with an almost primal fear, and we compare ourselves to others, constantly measuring our progress against an often unrealistic yardstick. These are not intellectual failings, they are simply part of being human. And it's precisely because money is so deeply intertwined with our emotions that the traditional purely logical approach often falls short. It's like trying to navigate a complex river with only a map, without understanding the currents, the hidden rocks, or the shifting sands beneath the surface. True mastery, then, isn't about conquering the river, but about learning to flow with it, to anticipate its moods, and to steer your vessel with a gentle, knowing hand. It's about recognizing that the greatest leverage we have in our financial lives isn't in some external force, but in the internal work of understanding and managing our own very human selves. This recognition is a powerful release, isn't it? It means that the path to financial well-being isn't reserved for the privileged few with access to exclusive information or immense starting capital. It's accessible to anyone willing to look inward, to cultivate self-awareness, and to practice the quiet virtues that have always underpinned true prosperity. It means that you, right here, right now, have within you the most potent tool for financial success: yourself. And this brings us to one of the most liberating insights Morgan shares: the idea that everyone, Every single one of us operates within our own unique financial worldview, shaped by our individual experiences. What seems perfectly logical and rational to one person might appear utterly bewildering to another. Imagine two people standing at the edge of a vast forest. One grew up within its embrace, learning its secrets, understanding its rhythms, feeling safe and at home among its ancient trees. The other, perhaps, had a traumatic experience in a forest as a child, and now sees only shadows, danger, and uncertainty. Both are looking at the same forest, yet their perceptions, their feelings, and their subsequent actions will be entirely different. Money is much the same. If you grew up in a household where resources were scarce, where every penny was accounted for, and fear often accompanied financial discussions, your relationship with money will be profoundly different from someone who grew up in an environment of abundance, where money was perhaps never a source of worry. Neither perspective is inherently right or wrong. They are simply different. They are the result of the stories our lives have told us, the lessons whispered by our parents, the fears etched by economic downturns, or the joys remembered from periods of prosperity. We carry these personal histories, often unconsciously, into every financial decision we make. This means that judging someone else's financial choices, or even our own past decisions, through the lens of pure logic is often unfair and unhelpful. What appears irrational to an outsider might be a perfectly understandable, even adaptive response to deeply personal experiences. The dot-com bubble, the housing crisis, periods of hyperinflation. These aren't just historical events. They are lived experiences that shape generations. Someone who lived through the Great Depression might hold on to cash with an almost desperate grip, even in times of economic stability, because the fear of loss is so deeply imprinted. Another, who perhaps only ever saw an upward trajectory in the markets, might take on excessive risk without a second thought. Understanding this, truly embracing this truth, fosters a profound sense of compassion, not just for others, but for ourselves. It allows us to release the burden of past mistakes and to approach our financial lives with greater self-awareness and less judgment. It encourages us to ask, why do I feel this way about money? Rather than simply, what should I do with my money? It's a journey of self-discovery, of peeling back the layers of learned behavior and inherited beliefs to find the authentic financial self beneath. It's about honoring your unique history while gently guiding yourself towards a future built on conscious choices, not just subconscious reactions. One of the most powerful, yet often overlooked forces in the world of money is the magic of compounding. It's a concept that seems simple on the surface, almost too unassuming, but its implications are truly staggering. Imagine a tiny seed, no bigger than a grain of sand. If you plant it in fertile soil, give it sunlight and water, it will slowly, imperceptibly at first, begin to grow. A tiny sprout emerges, then a few leaves, and over years, decades, even centuries, that tiny seed can transform into a colossal oak tree, reaching towards the sky, its roots delving deep into the earth. The power isn't in a sudden burst of growth, but in the relentless, consistent, often invisible accumulation of small increments. Compounding works much the same way with money, and indeed, with our habits and knowledge. It's not about finding the next big thing, the flashy investment that promises overnight riches. It's about consistency, patience, and the willingness to let time work its quiet miracle. Think of Warren Buffett, often hailed as one of the greatest investors of all time. His brilliance isn't just about making shrewd investments, it's about making shrewd investments consistently, over an incredibly long period. He started early, and he stayed in the game. His immense wealth isn't the result of a few spectacular home runs. It's the result of countless singles and doubles, accumulated year after year, decade after decade, allowing the power of compounding to do the heavy lifting. The secret isn't genius, it's longevity and consistency. This principle extends far beyond just investment returns. It applies to saving, to learning, to building skills, to cultivating relationships. Small, consistent efforts, when compounded over time, yield extraordinary results. A dollar saved today, invested wisely, might seem insignificant. But that dollar, multiplied by years of growth and reinvested earnings, can become a formidable sum. A few minutes spent learning a new skill each day, seemingly negligible in isolation, can lead to mastery over a lifetime. The challenge, of course, is that compounding is a slow burn. It doesn't offer instant gratification. In a world obsessed with immediate results, with viral successes and overnight millionaires, the quiet patience required for compounding can feel almost countercultural. But it is precisely in this quiet persistence, this gentle refusal to chase fleeting trends, that true wealth is built. Not just in financial terms, but in the richness of a life lived with intention and foresight. It's about trusting the process, planting the seed, and knowing that even if you can't see the roots growing, the transformation is quietly taking place beneath the surface. It asks us to shift our focus from the frantic pursuit of quick wins to the serene cultivation of long-term growth, understanding that the most profound changes often occur when we're not even looking. And with this understanding of compounding comes the crucial wisdom of knowing when enough is enough. This is a concept that truly touches the heart of our human striving. We live in a world that constantly tells us to want more, to achieve more, to acquire more. The marketing messages, the social media feeds, the curated lives of others, they all conspire to create a subtle but pervasive sense of inadequacy, a feeling that we are always just one more purchase, one more promotion, one more milestone away from true happiness. But Morgan reminds us of a vital truth. The endless pursuit of more can be a trap, a treadmill from which there is no escape. There's a subtle but profound difference between wanting to grow and being consumed by insatiable greed. The former fuels progress, the latter often leads to ruin. Think of the stories of those who reached unimaginable heights of wealth or power, only to lose everything because they couldn't recognize the boundary, the point at which enough was truly enough. They risked everything for that one extra deal, that one more conquest, not out of necessity, but out of a gnawing hunger that could never be satisfied. It's a tragic irony, isn't it? To have so much, and yet to feel so empty, so compelled to keep reaching, even as your hands are already full. The fear of missing out, or FOMO as we call it, is a powerful driver in this endless pursuit. We see others achieving, seemingly effortlessly, and we feel the pressure to keep up, to not be left behind. But the truly wise understand that the biggest returns often come from knowing when to stop, when to be content with what you have, and when to protect it. It's about understanding that the highest purpose of money isn't just to accumulate, but to provide freedom, the freedom to choose, the freedom from worry, the freedom to live a life aligned with your values. If the pursuit of more steals your peace, compromises your integrity, or sacrifices your relationships, then how much more is truly worth it? This isn't an argument against ambition or striving. It's an invitation to define your own enough. What does true sufficiency look like for you? What level of financial security would truly allow you to breathe, to pursue your passions, to spend time with the people you love, without the constant pressure of chasing the next dollar? Defining your enough is an act of profound self-awareness and self-respect. It's about stepping off the treadmill, taking a deep breath, and realizing that perhaps, just perhaps, you already have more than you think, and that true richness lies not in endless accumulation, but in the quiet contentment of what you've built, and the wisdom to preserve it. It's a deep, soulful question we must all ask ourselves, for it is in its answer that we find true liberation. This brings us to the profound and often uncomfortable truth that luck and risk are inseparable twins in the tapestry of our lives, especially when it comes to money. We love stories of self-made millionaires, don't we? The narratives of sheer grit, unwavering determination, and unparalleled talent. And while these qualities are undoubtedly important, they often overshadow the silent, invisible hand of luck and the ever-present shadow of risk. Morgan gently reminds us that success is rarely, if ever, purely a product of individual brilliance. There are countless brilliant, hardworking people who, through no fault of their own, simply didn't catch the right break or were swept away by unforeseen circumstances. Conversely, there are those who, perhaps with less inherent talent, found themselves in the right place at the right time, encountering opportunities that propelled them forward. This isn't to diminish hard work or skill, but to introduce a crucial dose of humility. When we attribute all success solely to individual effort, We often fall into the trap of survivor bias, focusing only on those who made it, and ignoring the countless others who tried just as hard but faced different outcomes. It also means we become overly confident in our own abilities, believing we can control everything, which leaves us vulnerable to the unpredictable nature of risk. Risk isn't just about making bad choices, it's about the inherent uncertainty of life. The economy can shift, a pandemic can strike, an unexpected personal crisis can derail even the most carefully laid plans. The truly wise understand that while they can mitigate risk, they can never eliminate it entirely. Life is a chaotic, beautiful dance of probabilities. This understanding fosters both humility and empathy. Humility, because it reminds us that even our greatest successes owe something to the universe's benevolent randomness. Empathy, because it allows us to see that others' struggles are not always a reflection of their lack of effort or intelligence, but sometimes simply the unfortunate outcome of an unfair roll of the dice. And I remember one quiet afternoon, watching a friend, a truly brilliant and dedicated artist, struggle to make ends meet, while another, with perhaps less inherent talent but a fortuitous connection, found immense commercial success. It was a stark reminder that while effort is essential, the currents of life can carry us in unexpected directions, regardless of our skill. It illuminated for me the subtle interplay of forces beyond our immediate control. This perspective then compels us to build a margin of safety into our lives. If luck and risk are ever-present companions, then the only sensible response is to create buffers, to build resilience into our plans, so that when the unexpected inevitably arises, we are not completely derailed. A margin of safety isn't just about having an emergency fund, though that is certainly a crucial component. It's a philosophy that permeates every aspect of our financial lives. It's about avoiding excessive debt, even when interest rates are low. It's about diversifying investments so that a downturn in one area doesn't wipe out your entire portfolio. It's about not maximizing every last dollar of income to cover expenses, but leaving a little breathing room, a little slack in the system. Imagine a bridge designed to carry a certain weight. A responsible engineer doesn't design it to its absolute limit, hoping it will just barely hold. They design it with a margin of safety, so it can withstand more than the expected load, accounting for unforeseen stresses, gusts of wind, or unusual traffic. Our financial lives need the same kind of careful engineering. It's about building a robust fortress, not a fragile house of cards. This might mean living below your means, even when you could afford to spend more. It might mean opting for a simpler car or a smaller house to free up resources and reduce financial pressure. It might mean saying no to certain opportunities that carry too much risk, even if they promise large rewards. It's about prioritizing peace of mind and financial durability over the pursuit of maximum returns at all costs. This isn't a strategy born of fear. It's a strategy born of wisdom and foresight. It's the understanding that life is unpredictable and that true freedom comes not from having infinite resources, but from having enough resilience to navigate the inevitable storms. It's the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you've prepared for the unexpected, that you have options, and that a single setback won't shatter your entire financial world. It's the difference between always feeling on edge, rushing to keep up, and finding a deep, steady calm in the face of uncertainty. The goal isn't to be rich tomorrow, but to be financially secure, resilient, and at peace for a lifetime. This principle of margin of safety is truly the quiet guardian of our financial well-being. It's the bedrock upon which genuine financial freedom is built, offering us the invaluable gift of resilience and the profound peace of mind that comes with knowing we've prepared for the unexpected currents of life. And this preparation, this building of resilience, is deeply tied to understanding that true wealth is not what you see, but what you don't see. We live in a world obsessed with outward displays of success. The luxury cars, the designer clothes, the sprawling mansions, these are the symbols we're constantly shown as indicators of wealth. But as Morgan so eloquently points out, these are often just money spent. They are the visible manifestations of someone's past or present income, but they tell us nothing about their actual net worth or their financial security. Someone driving a flashy car might be deeply in debt, their entire financial life a precarious balance. Someone living in a modest home, driving an older car, and spending within their means might be quietly accumulating substantial wealth. building a robust foundation for their future. True wealth, he reminds us, is the money you haven't spent. It's the quiet power of deferred gratification, the unseen strength of disciplined saving and investing. It's the assets you own that are quietly growing, providing security and future optionality. It's the freedom to say no to a demanding job, to take time off for family, or to pursue a passion project, all because you have a financial buffer. This is a profound shift in perspective, isn't it? It moves us away from the endless, exhausting game of keeping up appearances, of comparing our outward possessions to others, and towards a deeper, more internal measure of financial well-being. It's about finding contentment in what you have, and deriving satisfaction not from what you display, but from the quiet confidence of what you've built beneath the surface. Warren Buffett, despite his immense wealth, lives a remarkably modest life. He understands that the true value of money isn't in its display, but in its utility, its ability to provide security, and its potential to grow. His focus has always been on accumulating productive assets, not on accumulating liabilities that demand constant maintenance and attention. This principle is a radical departure from the consumerist messages that bombard us daily. It asks us to look beyond the superficial, to question what truly constitutes wealth, and to find value in the unseen. It's about prioritizing independence and financial freedom over social validation. It's about choosing a path of quiet strength over a path of loud extravagance. And in that choice lies a profound sense of liberation, a freeing from the endless chase for external approval, and a deeper connection to what truly matters in life. It's a powerful mantra to hold close. True wealth is not what you see, but what you don't see. And from this understanding, we naturally flow into the liberating idea that money's greatest intrinsic value is its ability to grant you control over your time. We chase financial success, often enduring long hours, stressful jobs, and demanding commutes, all with the implicit belief that money will eventually buy us freedom. But what if we've got it backward? What if the freedom is available much earlier, not just at some distant retirement age, but every single day? Morgan illuminates this brilliantly. The highest dividend money pays is not a fancy car or a sprawling estate, but the ability to wake up each morning and say, I can do what I want today. It's the power to say no to things that drain your energy, to pursue activities that bring you joy, to spend time with the people you love, without the crushing pressure of financial necessity. This isn't about being wealthy enough to never work again. It's about being financially secure enough to have options. It's the ability to take a sabbatical, to change careers, to work fewer hours, to volunteer, or simply to pursue a hobby without financial strain. It's the ultimate form of luxury, far more valuable than any material possession. Think of the stress and anxiety that often accompany financial dependence. The fear of losing a job, the pressure to conform, the inability to pursue a passion because it doesn't pay enough. These are all symptoms of a lack of control over one's time, dictated by financial constraints. When you build financial resilience, when you live within your means and save consistently, you are essentially buying back hours, days, weeks, and even years of your life. You are creating a buffer against the whims of the economy and the demands of external forces. This shift in perspective is transformative. It changes the entire purpose of accumulating wealth from mere acquisition to the pursuit of autonomy. It makes saving and investing not a chore, but an act of profound self-love and self-empowerment. It encourages us to reevaluate our spending habits, asking not just, can I afford this? But, does this purchase truly enhance my control over my time? If an expensive car ties you to a demanding payment, it might be robbing you of future freedom. If a modest home allows you to work part-time and spend more time with your children, it might be the greatest investment you ever make. The ultimate goal is to accumulate the most money, but to accumulate the most freedom. It's a quiet revolution in how we think about success, shifting the focus from external validation to internal liberation. It encourages us to craft a life where our time is our own, where our choices are driven by purpose and joy, not by financial obligation. This control over your time, this ability to choose how you spend your precious moments, is truly the most exquisite and priceless reward that financial wisdom can bestow. So, how do we begin to apply these deep insights in our own lives? It's not about grand sweeping gestures, but small, deliberate shifts in mindset and behavior. Start with the quiet act of defining your enough. Take a moment, perhaps with a cup of tea in a quiet space, and truly reflect on what financial security and contentment look like for you. Not what society dictates, not what your friends or family expect, but what genuinely brings you peace and joy. What amount of savings would allow you to sleep soundly at night? What level of income would support the life you truly desire, without excess or unnecessary striving? Write it down, not as a rigid target, but as a gentle guide. Then, cultivate patience. In a world that screams for instant results, choose the quiet power of consistency. Think of your financial journey as a marathon, not a sprint. Small, regular contributions to savings and investments, even if they seem insignificant at first, will compound into remarkable results over time. Resist the urge to chase the latest hot trend or to succumb to the fear of missing out. Instead, focus on building robust, diversified foundations. Embrace the margin of safety. This isn't about fear, it's about foresight. Build an emergency fund that can cover several months of expenses. Avoid taking on excessive debt. Then live below your means, even if only slightly, to create that crucial financial breathing room. This cushion will absorb the inevitable shocks of life and provide invaluable peace of mind. And most importantly, shift your perception of wealth. Let go of the need for external validation. Understand that true wealth is often invisible. It's the security you've built, the freedom you've gained, and the choices you've created for yourself. Focus on accumulating assets that provide security and generate future income rather than liabilities that drain your resources. These are not complex strategies. They are simple, human truths, deeply rooted in self-awareness and quiet discipline. They require a gentle hand, not a forceful grip, and a patient heart, not a restless mind. You who are listening right now, perhaps you feel a quiet stir within you, a recognition that some of these ideas resonate deeply. Perhaps you felt the quiet struggle, the pressure to keep up, the anxiety of not knowing where to begin. It's okay. We all navigate these waters, and the beauty of it is that the currents can always be changed. You are not defined by your past financial choices, nor are you limited by current circumstances. Every single day offers a new opportunity to choose a different path, to embrace these timeless principles, and to begin building a financial life that truly reflects your deepest values and aspirations. It's not about perfection, it's about progress, one gentle step at a time. It's about building a quiet confidence within yourself, knowing that you have the wisdom and the capacity to navigate the financial world, not by battling against it, but by flowing with its inherent rhythms. So, let's cultivate a mindset of perpetual learning and adaptability. The world changes, economies evolve, and new opportunities, as well as new challenges, will always emerge. The most successful financial journeys are undertaken by those who remain curious, open-minded, and willing to adjust their sails as the winds shift. This doesn't mean constantly chasing every new investment fad. It means understanding fundamental principles and being flexible in their application. It's about recognizing that what worked in one decade might not work in the next, and that rigid adherence to outdated strategies can be as dangerous as reckless speculation. This adaptability is fueled by humility, acknowledging that we don't have all the answers, and that learning is a lifelong process. It means reading, observing, and engaging with different perspectives, not just those that confirm our existing beliefs. It means being comfortable with uncertainty, understanding that perfect information is rarely available, and that decisions often need to be made with incomplete data. This is where wisdom truly comes alive, not in knowing everything, but in knowing how to learn, how to adapt, and how to remain resilient in the face of change. It's about developing a quiet inner compass that guides you through shifting landscapes, always pointing towards principles of long-term well-being and freedom. And remember, the journey of financial wisdom is deeply personal. What works for one person may not work for another. Respect your own unique history, your risk tolerance, and your personal values. Don't try to fit into someone else's financial mold. Instead, lovingly craft a path that feels authentic and empowering to you. This is your canvas, your journey, and your opportunity to create a financial life that truly supports the kind of life you wish to live. As we gently bring this conversation to a close, remember this: the greatest wealth isn't measured in dollars or possessions, but in the peace of mind, the freedom, and the control you gain over your own precious time. It's about building a life where money serves you, rather than you serving money. Imagine a still pond, reflecting the sky. When a single pebble drops, ripples spread across its surface, growing wider and wider, transforming the entire reflection. Your financial journey, guided by these quiet, powerful principles, is like that pebble. Each conscious choice, each act of patience, each decision to prioritize peace over pretense sends out ripples that will extend far beyond your bank account, touching every corner of your life and illuminating your path forward. If these words have resonated with you, if they've sparked a flicker of recognition or a quiet sense of hope, I invite you to keep this conversation going. Please like this message, share it with someone who might also find solace or inspiration here, and leave a comment below sharing your own reflections or experiences. Your insights are invaluable, and your engagement helps to spread this message of gentle wisdom and empowerment to others who are searching for their own quiet path to financial freedom. And if you'd like to continue exploring these profound ideas and cultivating a deeper connection with your financial well-being, subscribe to this channel. Let's continue to build a community where we can share, learn, and grow together, one ripple at a time.